3 of con. So we just got home. We drove 3 hours. Well, these two still have to go to Steamboat, but we're at my house. Yay.
Whee!
Yeah, so this is my house. Yay. So yeah, we just wrapped up our final day of Denver Pop Culture Con. So we can give a little rundown from how the day went, but we started off the morning with a panel on... Was the morning panel the bad one? Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Okay.
Toxic masculinity, where the panelists were like, we don't really think that toxic masculinity is a bad thing.
It was more like nobody did their homework beforehand.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like, because it's true, that brings up a lot of really big ideas, and you gotta have some of your thoughts in order before you start attacking that. And nobody,
like, clearly
unfortunately,
they hadn't prepared questions, and they also seemingly had not really prepared any examples from things other than from the book that the moderator had just released. And I was like, okay, so it was like kind of like a plug for his book, but also, I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. It wasn't...
The vibe was real weird. All white people, presumably.
Yep.
There was one person that maybe wasn't, but he was mansplaining. Like, tried to make it a joke, but it wasn't a joke, because it's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, I was confused by that joke, too, and I did not laugh. I was like, what?
I didn't laugh that whole... I mean, we were only there for like 10 minutes.
Moral of the story is that, you know, this is something that Megan is very good at, but if... Because this happened a few times. This is the only time we did that this year. But sometimes you show up at a panel... I don't think so.
We walked...
that discussion one.
Yeah, we only walked out of the attachment one after the discussion was, like, going. And we were like, we don't need to discuss things.
We don't want to group participate, because sometimes you're not in the mood for that. But yeah, Megan is really good about... Megan's really good about, if this isn't what I'm here for, I'm gonna leave. And so, yeah, she got us out of there. Which, you know, that's all right. There's so much other stuff to do, and, you know, not every panel can knock it out of the park, so.
Right. I was shocked that Bree hadn't walked out already. I literally looked over at these two and was like, we need to get out of here. And so we did, and it was great. It was a good save. So...
Y'all had a beer instead.
We did. We had a beer instead. It was great. The beer was great. And then the second panel that we went to was about podcasting, and podcasting, Your Stories Matter was like the title of it, and it was really great. I thought we got some good ideas and feedback from the guys with Comic Talk 616.
They're another Colorado podcast. So, yeah, they did have some good insights and...
on sound, which is my always...
Megan got to ask some important questions, and they and the audience were helpful.
Yeah. So hopefully our sound quality will improve, you guys. So stay tuned for that happening.
And that panel was kind of meant to appeal to... I think they were imagining people who have thought about starting a podcast, but hadn't really taken the leap, and their main, idea was, like, if you have passion and, like, this is so, like, you can do it. Like, just start.
Share your story.
That was the main deal. Share your story. And start where you are. Don't, like, put it off until you have X, Y, and Z equipment. Don't put it off until, just, like, there's never a perfect time. Just do it. Which I thought was, a really nice sentiment. So...
Yeah, I thought that was a nice message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really gracious with their help and everything. I went up and chatted with them afterwards, too, and they were super awesome. They were like, we'll definitely give you guys a shout out and, like, share, love of your pod and blah, 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 collaboration, blah, blah, things. So, I was, really excited about that. Always happy to collaborate with people, get involved, build community, all the fun things with podcasting.
Yeah. And then our final event of the day was we went to the celebrity spotlight of Matthew Lewis, who played Neville Longbottom in the Harry Potter franchise. This was very, like, little, 14-year-old, like, us was like, yeah!
Yeah.
He was delightful.
He was delightful.
Very
I
gracious.
enjoyed him.
Yeah. And he was very candid, too, about, like, you know, I do this stuff a lot, and I don't know all the answers. You know, like, you guys know more than I do.
Yeah, he got asked some really fucking hard questions.
Like, real deep. Like, off the bat, real deep. And he was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Like, one person asked about, like, his Patronus, but, like, asked it in such a way, it was, like, real intense, and I was, like, dude, he's an actor, chill the F out, like, he's not
like,
Neville
well,
Longbottom.
Because Neville, like, never actually created a Patronus, but, like, what do you think it would have been if he could have done it, and then what is your Patronus as, like, your human self?
Yeah, it was, which I was like, that's fine, you know, whatever. I won't shame people for the questions they ask during those things, but, like, yeah, I think sometimes people forget that they're actors and not people. I don't know. Like, not the characters. Yeah. That they're more than just the character that they played in that show that one time, or that movie that one time.
That one time for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, his was for 10 years, so that's fair, but also, he's a person outside of Neville Longbottom. So.
Well, and they haven't been making those movies for a long time.
Right.
And also to, you know, his interaction with the Harry Potter story is really different than the average person who has enjoyed the Harry Potter story, because, I mean, I'm sure he read some of the books probably, like, you know, but his was, like, playing the character, and so... Right. Once it was done, I bet that he was like, yeah, I'm ready to move on. Where, you know, for fandom, like, some of that stuff, like, we never, you know, let it go. Like, we
never forget.
Yeah, we'd always come back to it, like, yeah. And so, remembering that, yeah. But, again, I thought he did a great job of just, like, taking that stuff in stride, and, like, he didn't get really caught up. He just, like, made a laugh out of it and whatnot.
Totally.
But I will say, like, I would rather have a question like that than a question like, what's your favorite color? Because, like,
ain't nobody care about that shit.
That's just not interesting. Like,
don't ask that question. I know I said I wasn't going to shame people for asking questions during celebrity summits, but that's a question you should not ask. Don't fucking do it.
They can't pull out a cool story from the thing that they made from that question, you know, like.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah, it was delightful, and then we hit the road. The third day is always a more low key day for us. We drive back.
Yeah. Can I just say really quick one more thing on the Neville Longbottom / Matthew Lewis thing? Somebody asked him about the term longbottoming, and it was the funniest.
What is that term even, like, reference?
So
what is the act of longbottoming? So
the term of, like, Neville Longbottoming is basically, like, a child actor or an actor of any sort becoming super hot.
Like, over the course of time. They had a serious glow up.
Yeah.
Because he
glowed up real hard, which is...
y'all.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The internet's a weird place.
Yeah. Exactly. And his response to that, too, was hilarious, because it was at the end.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm looking at the timer, I have, like, 3.5 minutes, which is not nearly enough time for me to, like, actually fully get into this. But I will say, I don't care for it, but things could be a lot worse. Yeah. So I'm okay with it. Was kind of the deal.
Yeah, he was very gracious with it, and I was like, that's fair, dude.
It also totally cracked me up that someone had the balls to ask that question.
I could not believe it.
Outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with, like, a beard, and I was like, dude, all right. Like,
oh my God.
Again, people came with the deep question.
Yeah, people were ready to throw down on that. But yeah, it was super fun. So yeah, day 3 recap. It was just a blast. We got to stop at a few of our, like, favorite merch stores at the end of the day too, or not stores, but, like, you know, shop fronts or whatever in Artist Alley booths. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that was really fun. Just to, like, be like, it was good connecting with those people again.
Yeah, and we went to, I guess yesterday. We had gone to this. What was the comic studio?
Oh, Boom Studios.
Boom Studio. So they had a booth. I feel like they had, like, 3 booths. Their section was huge.
Like a wraparound.
Yeah.
And it was all different, like, because I kind of thought initially, I was like, oh, I wonder if they have the same comics on the other side.
Oh, they sure did
didn't.
not.
Variety.
They didn't. They had a lot of stuff.
For sure. And so yesterday we had gone there and we were looking at their stuff, and the woman who helped us, like, hadn't read the comic. She was like
The backstagers that we referenced yesterday, which I returned today.
Yeah, so like Bree started it last night, and
I didn't like it.
yeah, it just wasn't for her. Like, yeah, and so they were super cool about it.
Yeah, they were great, and I got like 3 different comics, none of which I can remember. They're all in the car.
Yeah,
I'm
really,
sure you can
like,
tell by my fucking face that I'm like done.
Yeah.
conned out.
Yeah,
Conned out. And I ended up getting the Buffy comic that they have, which is different than the other Buffy comics that have come out. Yeah, and I started it in the car. It's like a reimagining, but in like 2017.
Right. It's like a modern Buffy AU alternate
kind of.
universe
But like,
thing.
and it has characters that you know, but some of them are in different roles.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like down with it so far. The art's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the comics that Brie got are gonna be really interesting.
There's one like
hopes.
that. I can't remember. Sorry.
Was it Godless? It was God something. Is
Really?
that the one that you're thinking
Yeah.
of? Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was called Godless because of the premise. So the main character is a black guy who's bi, and like in this world, there's every like human has a god, has their own like god, but this guy doesn't have one, and he like is, I guess, presumably looking for one. Then he comes across a god without a human. And then it's kind of, I guess, got this, like, jazzy, it almost seemed like Bayou-y vibe, which I'm always really into.
Nice, very cool.
The artwork looks really cool. It's, like, really vibrant, but also, like, I don't know, nice line work and stuff. Yeah. And then there's a Lumberjane one that I got that's, like, a standalone, where it looks like there's some kind of queer relationship, which is exciting. And then I got that,
Like Lost Fallen City or something like. Did you end up going for that
the one where it's like all the women take over.
Because all the men have like disappeared for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Land something. It was Land...
City was in the name.
Ladyland?
Land
Castle.
Land Castle.
The Lady Castle.
Lady Castle.
Lady Castle?
I think
We
that's
got
what it
there.
was. Anyway. Oh, y'all, that was a process. But the Lady Castle, yeah, that's another
Lady
one.
Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was super cool that they were like, we
Yeah.
want to help you find something that you want to enjoy. So
Yeah, because it wasn't the backstagers.
yeah.
Which is fine. Sometimes you're not into it, and that's okay. And yeah, anyway, so yeah, that was a recap of day 3 of con.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Okay, so the game
I got the scores.
came to a close.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
So we finalized the game. Migas won, big surprise. With 1990
Woo!
in points. I came in second with 1870, and Sista champed it out with 845. So
Pulling in
Migas
third.
gets to choose our group costume for next year.
Yes, and I'm giving no hints, and I haven't really given it much thought. Brie was asking me on our way to the car if I won, what, you know, because we hadn't tallied it up at that point yet, like, what we would do for next, and I was like, no, I gotta, like, do my spreadsheet for this. This is a whole process that I need to think about critically before I say anything, so.
You did say you were open to suggestions.
I am open to suggestions, yeah. So, listeners, if you are, you know, obviously you guys are Patreon subscribers, so I'm interested in your feedback too. What do you think we all should go as? Okay? Not saying I'll do it, but I'm saying I'm open to suggestions. So hit me with that. Yeah? Cool? Good?
Yeah.
Anything else, team?
Great job. Welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
welcome to Conway.
Would you do it again, Brie?
Yeah, I think so. For
Yeah?
the pod. I maybe would pare it down to 2 days. I think the third day was
too
like
much.
not really.
Not
Yeah.
feeling it. Yeah.
No, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
So
That's
I think
very
I
fair.
would, and especially because we have the drive too.
Yeah.
That's like it's just a lot for all of that.
Yep, that is very fair and accurate.
Please use train tracks for passenger trains again.
Yep, that'd be great.
It's true. Like, those of us up here in good old Routt County would love love a direct to Denver train ride.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting it out there. But
it's real fucking annoying to drive. My car recently blew up. I won't get into it, but it'd be really nice to have a train. Be really nice to have a train.
Because you could have come home that night, but you couldn't. Because goddamn.
Nope, could not.
Anyway.
All right, team. Check in. I think we're doing. It's another release week this week. I think so.
I think second part of
Phantom Menace. Boom. So
Woo!
check back in, y'all, and I'll post that episode, and it'll be ready Wednesday morning, as always. Yay! All right. Bye.
Bye.